All right, so home improvement continues to remain a strong theme, and CenturyPly is one of the plays which the market likes in home improvement. Keshav Bhajanka, Executive Director at the company, is joining us now. Keshav, morning, thanks for your time. The new plant which you are coming up with in Andhra, which will be on stream in the third quarter, just a few months or weeks from here, how much will it take your overall capacity to? How meaningful is it? Will it start contributing this year onwards?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. In Andhra, we are coming up with two capacities. There's going to be a capacity for laminates and a capacity for MDF. In laminates, the new capacity is going to be in higher sizes. So till now, we are predominantly an 8x4 play, whereas larger sizes are required for both the export as well as the toilet cubicle market. So in Andhra and laminates, we are going to be setting up our first capacities of 14x6 and 10x4 quarter, larger sizes. In MDF, the capacity in Andhra would be 950 cubic meters, which is going to double our existing capacity. That is likely to come on stream within H2.
Do you think this year's festival demand will be different from last year's festival demand? Because we are really getting very mixed picture so far.
I think, yes, the market is slightly difficult. But, having said that, there are multiple reasons towards the same. The festive period normally is a good period for us. But if you look at Q3, historically, it has not been a very strong quarter, predominantly because of lower working days. However, I don't see any challenge with regards to year on year. I think year on year, we will pretty much be on track.
And so talk to me about the long-term target that you have, 12,000 crore revenue by 2031. What would be the big contributor of that? Are you looking at, let's say, exports as well? Is it the domestic demand which continues to be that strong that you are aiming for the CAGR of over 15% now?
Like you have said, we're very, very bullish on the domestic market. And the export piece, definitely, we are looking to grow in exports. But the predominant share of that 12,000 will come out of domestic. If you look at it, we're investing across product categories. We're investing in new capacity in plywood, new capacities in laminates, new capacities in MDF, and in particle board. So we are fairly confident right across all the segments. And I think the domestic demand is there. There will be short-term hiccups and there will be short-term spikes. But overall, I think the picture looks very good. We're in the right industry at the right time and in the right market.
Now, we are observing that one end of the consumer spectrum, which is the luxury and premium, the affluent Indian is spending more on watches and homes, on their cars. You are very serious in approaching that segment, and that's why the Manish Malhotra, version which you've launched. But I want to understand a little more in specifics. How meaningful can this premium luxury laminate sheet business become for you? Are the margins also higher? Can it become very meaningful in 3-4 years?
You see, we are predominantly a luxury player in any case. We're at the highest end of the pricing point in the entire spectrum. With this range, we are very confident that, yes, we will now be in a product category where we haven't been, which is uber luxury or ultra luxury. Having said that, the difference that it will create will not only be in terms of the volumes, but it will also be in terms of the perception. Because like I've said earlier, we are now moving from a designer laminate to a branded designer laminate. And this is a new concept for the industry as a whole. So I think this is going to play both the roles. It is going to lead to upswing in volumes as well as leading to a change in the perception of the brand.
Keshav, 15% is good, but is it good enough? Your GDP, nominal GDP growth is about 14-15% for a category which is still not penetrated, for a category and a company and a brand which you represent is gaining a lot of market share from the unorganized market. Is 15 like a low watermark number? 15% is not bad in absolute terms, in relative terms. But looking at the way how things are moving in the category which you represent, 15% maza nahi aaya.
Firstly, it's not 15%, it's higher. So I think, the number was 15 plus. But I think it is looking at overall 17-18% growth. Having said that, you see, it is not just about turnover. We have to grow and we have to grow profitably and sustainably. We are not looking to add, different diverse ranges. We're looking to focus on the segments where we are operating. And I think that this is a fair target. Today, it leads to almost 3.5x of our current turnover. So I think that it is a fair target. The objective, जैसे आपने कहा, मजा नहीं आया, but the objective will always be to grow faster, to grow higher. But at this point in time, this is what we are striving for.
Keshav, is there a lot of competition from the Chinese imports as well? Because at one point of time for MDF, etc., that was a big worrying point. How is the competitive intensity in the industry right now?
If you look at the South, definitely there is competitive pressure from imports as far as MDF and particle board are concerned. However, domestic players are doing well, predominantly in markets that are landlocked. Even in the South markets, you will see players are doing fairly decently because the timber costs are lower. But I think this is pressure that we'll have to contend with on a long-term basis. The world is much smaller. It's a global economy now. But this forces us to be more efficient, to come up with more innovative products. And now if you look at it, the percentage of premium products in MDF is going substantially higher. So I think we've all found a way to negate the same.
On that note, we let you go. Appreciate you making time and speaking with us. That's the latest coming in from CenturyPly. Have a big target of 12,000 crores, a revenue CAGR of over 15%, and the domestic demand is something that makes them very bullish. But shifting focus to what's happening in NIT learnings as well, pull up the YTD chart or actually